welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about crossing the Guyana-Suriname border. So I'm going to walk you through how you can get from Georgetown, Guyana to Paramaribo, Suriname, and we'll talk about all the documents you need, all the steps you need to take, and walk you through the actual process at the border, because sometimes you show up there and it seems like confusion. So I'm going to demystify it for you, and hopefully when you show up there you'll have some clarity and you'll know exactly what to do and you wouldn't be confused. So let me walk you through it. So my personal preference to get from Georgetown to Paramaribo is to drive, but of course if you're driving you have to consider toll for the Berbice Bridge, you have to consider, well, you have to own a vehicle, and then you have to get insurance for Suriname, and you also have to pay the toll to cross with the ferry. So those are just factors to consider if you are thinking about your own vehicle. The alternative is to use public transport, and there is actually quite reliable public transportation that runs between Georgetown and Paramaribo. The buses will actually pick you up at certain locations around Georgetown and they drop you to spot in Paramaribo, and they cost, just as of January 2023, it's 10,000 Guyana dollars per person one way. So this is what the compound looks like at Molson Creek. When you get there, the first thing you need to do is check with the Port Health Authority, where they will ensure that you have the relevant vaccines. So you need to have the COVID vaccine and the yellow fever vaccine to enter Suriname. So after I got my Port Health check and I got the vehicle checked and they ensured that I had all the correct documents, then I have to get my ticket. Return tickets for the ferry will cost you 4,180 Guyana dollars per person. You should only purchase a return ticket if you intend to return within a 21 days period, because that's the length of validity for the ticket. After you've purchased your ticket, you then go through immigration and get your exit stamp, or if you have a vehicle, then you will go through customs and have that checked as well. Then you can wait in the waiting area until the ferry is ready. When the ferry is ready, they will first board all the vehicles, then the passengers will be boarding. So the ride across the Quarantine River is about 50 minutes, and it's beautiful and scenic. So this is what the ferry looks like. The seating capacity is pretty limited, so you can choose to stay in the vehicle or you can just sit on the lifeboats at the bottom amongst the vehicles. That's kind of the layout of the boat, so that's the idea. And just like that, I'm officially in Suriname. So if you took public transport and your bus didn't come across the ferry with you, then this is where you would get the new bus. I find Paramaribo to be an easy city to drive in. People are very courteous. It is beautiful to explore. There's a lot of history and culture and a lot of good food. There's a mixed culture. There's a lot of different people. So the food is really a fusion and it's really good to make sure you try lots and lots of different foods. So leaving Suriname is the same process as Guyana in reverse. So this is the compound in Southern Naikari for the ferry service. One of the most important differences that can maybe confuse people is when you enter the building, if you have a return ticket, they will take your passport and your ticket, and you will just sit around and wait for a while, and then you will hear your name. You have to listen for your name. They will be shouting it out. in order to return your passport. If you don't have a return ticket, then you join that line and you purchase your ticket to go over. After you've collected your passport from the ferry service person, then you go through immigrations, and if you have a vehicle, customs, and then you just sit around and wait for the boat. There is the option to do duty-free shopping as well, because they have more options in terms of shops.